Yo, welcome back everybody to a brand new video here on the second channel, and today we just got some brand new cards that just got revealed. Now, well, we got brand new Megas that got revealed, but we have had actually other cards revealed throughout the week too that are actually pretty solid. We have some new Stage 2 lines we're going to be looking at here, but yeah, the important thing is two more Mega Evolutions just got revealed. We got a Mega Mawile EX and a Mega Absol EX, and we got a brand new supporter that also looks kind of decent. Not gonna lie, all the cards in this video we're gonna be reacting to actually do look pretty solid. These cards will be coming out in our September set, the Mega Evolution set. So I'm super excited to take a look at these cards and react to them here. I'll leave a link to Pokebeach down below if you want to go check out the website for yourself and check out all the cards and read them. And if you're new here to the second channel, make sure to subscribe down below. We're on the road to 25K subscribers, and leave a comment down below what you think of these new cards. I'm interested to hear. So yeah, starting things off, we got this brand new Cinderace line, and this line is actually kind of crazy. So yeah, we got this new Scorbunny reboot, and then yes, we got this new Cinderace with the ability Explosiveness. If this Pokemon is in your hand when you're setting up to play, you can place it face down as your active Pokemon. Now, this ability has been seen before. We've had an old Talonflame that had the ability, and we just had a Luxray that came out, I think it's Silver Tempest, that just rotated with the same ability. This type of ability is good because if the Cinderace is in your hand, you don't have to start with a basic. You can just play the Stage 2 down for free. Now, these type of Pokemon usually have to have good attacks to make them worthwhile, and this Pokemon has a busted attack. It's got that Flare Turbo attack for 1 colorless energy, does 50 damage. You get to then search your deck for up to 3 basic energy cards and attach them to your bench Pokemon in any way that you like. Not gonna lie, that is a crazy good attack. Now, yes, you really got to get value out of this card by starting it, right? I mean, you can also candy into it, but that kind of feels a little slow. The fact is, if you start this card and you actually get a value out of the ability, this attack is broken. That is a great attack. You're putting damage on a Pokemon, you're killing Bidoof, which is pretty good, and you're putting energy into play, you're powering up Pokemon. I mean, it's like ADP and Pika Rom all over again. It's like Arceus V-Star. Like, you pound up your Big EX Pokemon pretty easily. Yeah, this card is really good in my opinion. Now, you do have to play 4 copies of it, and also it kind of makes for some weird deck building, because, like, you play this card alongside, like, 10 other basic Pokemon. You play it as a 4 of, but then you have like 14 basics in the deck. Like, the odds you start it aren't going to be that high. But when you do start it, it's pretty good. If you play this card, you want to maybe play it in a deck that doesn't play as many basic Pokemon, because you want to make sure you're maximizing the odds of starting Cinderace. But yeah, that attack is amazing. That is a great attack. Like, Trinity Nova basically on a Pokemon like this is crazy, because you could do this on your first turn going second. So yeah, this Cinderace is really, really good. Yeah, pretty good card. You can even play it with the other Cinderace EX in the format, which can do a lot of damage. It's got 2 decent attacks. Just getting it powered up is kind of clunky, but with this Cinderace, it's not that hard to build up the other Cinderace, which is kind of cool. So now we have another Cinderace for that Cinderace deck. I just want to highlight that, because Cinderace EX is a cool card, and I wanted to mention it. But yeah, this card is great. This is a really strong card. This might bring back this engine, because the Luxray that I was just talking about from Silver Tempest didn't see a lot of play. It had an attack that did 40, and then you got to search check for 2 cards, put them in your hand. But like, that card didn't see any play. Like, it saw a niche play and like Archaludon at first, but no one played it. But the Cinderace is actually pretty good. Next up, we have a new Shedinja line, and usually the Ninjask helps out the Shedinja. It's got that ability, Cast Off Shell. When you play it from your hand to evolve on your Pokemon, you can search your deck for a Shedinja and then put it on your bench. And then you got the attack U-turn, which is 90, and then you switch it. Then you have the Shedinja here, which is usually the more interesting of the 2 cards. And then it's got that Fragile Shell ability. If this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon EX, they do not take any prizes for killing it. And then you got the attack Damage Beat, which for 1 psychic does 20 damage for each damage counter on your opponent's active Pokemon. Not a bad card. I mean, not giving up any prizes is pretty good. This can obviously make a weird prize trade situation. Now, in order to make the attack work, you do have to play it in like a spread deck, but you can maybe make this work with like Frostlass, Monkey Dory, or any other like spread attacker that exists. The attack isn't terrible, and like I said, the fact that you can potentially not give up a prize card if an EX KOs you is nice. So not a bad little card. More of like a roguish deck. But, it's like a decent little Shedinja, and you can get it out with the help of the Ninjask, which is pretty cool. But yeah, the Shedinja is decent. There you go. Put a Legacy Energy on it, bro. You give up 0 prizes. BDIF. All right. We got the new Alakazam line here. So it's cool. We're getting more Alakazam cards. We got the Kadabra here with the ability Psychic Draw. When you play from your hand to evolve on your Pokemon, you get to draw 2 cards for free. Not a bad ability. These type of abilities are cool. When you evolve, you do something like we've seen Team Rocket's Golbat. You put damage on the board. And then we got the Alakazam, which is similar to the Kadabra. When you evolve it from your hand to one of your Pokemon, you get to draw 3 cards. Then you got the attack hand power for 1 psychic energy. You put 2 damage counters on your opponent's active Pokemon for each card in your hand. So obviously the idea of the deck is kind of like Tinkaton. You just want to make a giant hand. You play these with the Dunsparce, you spam your Alakazams, you spam your Kadabras, you draw a bunch of cards, and then you start hitting with hand power. Not a bad little card. I like these type of cards where you evolve and draw cards. We've seen these before. These cards never have really seen too much play, in all honesty, though. But it's cool that we have them back, and then it's nice to have like another semi-playable Alakazam. They're useful abilities. They're not like game-changing abilities. I would argue that even stuff like the Dunsparce, Zoroark EX are obviously better than the Alakazam Kadabra line, but it's cool, and obviously the attack synergizes with the ability. So yeah, not a terrible line, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, the big thing is we got the brand new Megas. We got another Mega revealed here. We got that Mega Absol EX, which has 2 attacks. You got Doom period for 2 energy, a dark and a colorless. If your opponent's active Pokemon has exactly 6 damage on it, it is immediately knocked out. Now, there are ways you can manipulate this. A good one could just be Monkey Dory. I mean, we know Monkey Dory is the best card in the game right now. Well, Monkey Dory with Absol has good synergy with that first attack. You just go double Adrenabrain, then you go knockout with Doom period. And then, of course, you got that second attack, Cruel Claw, for 2 dark and a colorless. You do 200 damage. Your opponent reveals their hand. You get to discard a card you find there. So, not a bad Mega. It is a dark type. It is good to have good dark type Pokemon in the format right now because of how good Gardevoir is. And Gardevoir ain't going anywhere by the time the set does come out. So, it'll be cool to have another dark attacker in the meta. It is a basic Mega with 280 HP. And again, it does give up 3 prize cards. So you do have to keep that in mind when playing a card like this. It does have one of those like instant knockout attacks, and its other attack isn't bad. Combine that with Unfair Stamp or Iono, right? You can really limit your opponent's hand. You can even play like Zero-6 Machinations or something. But yeah, you play the Absol with a hand disrupt card. You do the second attack. You knock something out. Discard a card, and then that first attack seems kind of cool. There are other ways you can play the first attack, like Frostlass, obviously, is another way you can play it. You could play with, like, Team Rocket's Venture Bomb Monkey Dory combo, I guess. But yeah, Monkey Dory is, like, the main way you're going to use Mega Absol. Maybe there's, like, a Mega Absol Balissi Monkey Dory deck you can use. Because you probably want to double Adrenabrain, but you also want to build up the Absol. The best way to do that could be like Blissi EX. Blissi Absol Monkey Dory. Cool idea. Not a bad card. Again, as a 3-prizer, it's a little risky to play, but it is a dark type, and it has insta-KO potential. 2 attacks that have kind of synergies in the format, which is good. Then we got Mega Mawile EX. Remember correctly, Mega Mawile, Mega Absol we got from the XY era were not playable at all. But this Mawile actually could be decent. It's got the Greedily Devour attack for 2 metal energy, does 80 damage for each prize card you've taken, and then you have Big Bite for 2 metal and colorless energy. You get to do 260 damage. However, if your opponent's active already has any damage on it before you do the attack does 30 instead. So it's kind of a weird second attack where you will have to use it when you're attacking a fresh Pokemon, but 260 is solid numbers. You're knocking out big basics. Combine that with a maximum belt, you're doing what, 310 damage? So you're, play like Grav Mount Max Belt, you're knocking out stage 2s like Charizard, Dragapult. You're already knocking out Gardevoir EX in one hit. You are a basic metal type 3-prize Pokemon. You could play this within Metang as a way to build up that big bite attack. Then, yeah, Greedily Devour can be a nice way in the late game. It's like Charizard, right, with Burning Darkness in a way. The longer the game goes on, the more prize you're taking, the stronger this card is getting. So, well, I guess Charizard does it for your opponent, but you get my point, right? It's one of those cards where, like, you take prizes. You want to take prize with Big Bite, and then you swing with Greedily Devour. And the damage multiplier is not bad. 80 times is, like, kind of decent, to be honest with you. There's an Aegislash EX in the format that does 70 times for each prize you've taken. So this attack does 80 times, so not too bad. I'm going to be honest, though. The 2 Megas that got revealed here, the Mawile and the Absol, probably I would rank them below. I don't know if I would rank them below Venusaur EX. Venusaur could be worse than these, but I definitely rank them below the Lucario and the Guardy. I mean, those are like the mascots, like the Pokemon they're really promoting from this new set. But I do think these Megas are a little bit weaker than those 2. I don't know if they're better than the Latios, though. The Latios is like okay, too. Then finally, we got a new supporter here, Acerola's Mischief. We've had some pretty good Acerola cards before. This one is no different. You can only use this card if your opponent has 2 or fewer prizes remaining, so it's kind of like Briar in that regards, but it does have a decent effect here. Choose one of your Pokemon in play. During your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage from and effects of attacks done to that Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon EX. This is a pretty strong effect. And definitely it has the ability to steal games where, like, your opponent goes into, it's kind of like Briar. They walk into the Acerola, and then you play the Acerola's Mischief, and then you're like, oh, can't take a prize. Now, obviously, if you have liabilities in play, it's like, oh, your opponent just goes boss anyways and doesn't bother attacking into you. This card is pretty good, though. This is like a good card to have in a deck that makes like really good late game boards. Like a deck like Charizard might want to use this type of card where like their board is usually pretty big, but maybe, you might have a liability. I guess you could play this card to protect your liability. If you have like a Fez Charizard in play, your opponent can't kill the Fez, or the Charizard, but then kill the Fez. Well, you waste roll of your Fez, and then all of a sudden you like checkmate your opponent. This card could make some interesting checkmate board states the more I think about it. It's not a bad card at all. It only works against EXs, so it's not going to work against other like one prizers and stuff, but EXs are like the most popular thing right now. It's a very interesting card. You could manipulate it also with like Dusknoir stuff, obviously, kind of like if you're playing Briar. It's not as strong as Briar. It's not a bad little card, though, for sure, and it definitely has potential to see play as like a 1 or 2 of. Because you can use it at the end of the game, right? You can just spam it. Like, imagine your only Pokemon in play is like a Charizard or something. If you have like one Pokemon in play, your opponent is only going to attack with an EX Pokemon. If you just spam this over and over again, that's kind of crazy, actually. But you probably only want to play like 1 or 2 in your deck anyways. But it's definitely not a bad supporter. And that's it for the new cards we got revealed. Only 2 Megas. Looks like we are going to be getting more revealed soon. We got teased. There's a Mega Camerupt, a Mega Abomasnow, Mega Kang, and then Mega Manectric and Ampharos yet to be revealed. So there's still going to be more revealed, which I'm sure in the coming weeks we're going to see them. So I'm definitely excited for that. But then let me think of these new cards in the comment section below. What do you think of the new Mawile and Absol? I'm interested to hear. What do you think of the new Acerola's Mischief? And I think, honestly, the Cinderace might be the best card revealed, honestly. Like, out of the cards we just looked at, I think the Cinderace could be the best one. Let me know what you think of this brand new Cinderace in the comments below. This card is kind of broken, in my opinion. So definitely let me know. I'm interested to hear. Hope you enjoyed this video. And yeah, we'll see you very soon for more content. Maybe in the next video, we'll be looking at even more Megas getting revealed. We'll have to see on that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Peace out. Bye-bye.